If you've been watching our videos recently and you are a subscriber, thank you. And if you're not, you should be. We have been delving into a lot of 1980s nostalgia recently. We looked at the A-Team. We were looking at lately. Yeah.
It's been like I spent my whole life doing that.
we kind of peddle nostalgia here at Collector's Confessions. It will continue with this one. This is possibly a kickoff to a new series that we're going to do.
Yep.
Or maybe it will end here. It all depends on you. If you like this, please like, comment, let us know that this is the way to go. We are going to be looking at some of the weirder toy lines of the 1980s. Mm-hmm. Recently, we did a short about Barnyard Commandos, which was a very strange toy line from the 1980s.
Yeah.
And in the 1980s, what happened was there was a lot more money in families. And that money translated into spending. And that spending, if you had children, translated into toy purchases. So the toy market was flooded with a lot of very odd toys.
Well, sure. People came up with ideas and just threw everything at the wall to see what would stick.
Yeah. So I would
Because there was a lot of money to be made.
And a lot of cocaine. I would think some of these ideas are most certainly backed by cocaine, because if you went into a room today and tried to sell them on a bunch of fighting pigs and sheep, you'd be laughed out of the toy company. But in the 1980s, they made an entire toy line and also a animated series that lasted 2 years. Check out our short about Barnyard Commandos. In this episode, we're going to look at some other ones, not Barnyard Commandos, but just as strange. The first one we're going to look at is very similar to Barnyard Commandos, because in the 1980s, not only was cocaine a big thing, but so was war. So if you could have something that fought something else, pigs and sheep again.
Well, that was the idea behind all the toy lines. It was good guys, bad guys.
Okay.
Transformers,
which makes sense.
Ancient Civil War, G.I. Joe.
Good. Cobra versus G.I. Joe, exactly. I get it. He-Man versus Skeletor, I get it.
Sure.
But hamburgers versus hot dogs, not so much.
Why not both?
Food Fighters, which was produced by Mattel, was a line of action figures, that's right, action figures, that depicted anthropomorphic food items engaged in a struggle to control, I don't know what, the fast food counter? I don't know. How does it, wouldn't every story end with them being eaten?
Who would dominate my barbecue grill?
Yo, Burgundy, chew on this. You'll never cut the mustard, mean winner. Food fight!
Food fight! Your history, Private Pizza. Pow! And your lunch. Combat curtain. Fire!
What's going on?
Joy Slam is food again, Mom.
Food fighters, figures in combat carton eat sold separately. Toys do not walk and talk.
Can't we all just get along?
Can't we all just... The characters included Brigadier General, Mean Wiener.
Wait. Mean Wiener.
That's right.
Mean Wiener.
Same thing, Brian... Never mind. And Taco Terra, among many others.
Have you ever experienced Taco Terra?
I did last week, as a matter of fact. If anyone's ever gone to Taco Bell, Taco Terra, after retiring from the Food Fighters,
it's not a joke,
became a part of Taco Bell. He is continuing to fight the war on people's buttholes. Mattel produced this very bizarre toy line in 1988. Brian, did you ever own any of the Food Fighters?
Never had the Food Fighters. No. I keep wanting to say Foo Fighters.
I think that's where they got their name from. Let's watch a commercial about the Food Fighters.
Oh, boy.
So that's the Food Fighters, our first very strange toy line in the 1980s. We can go into more detail on another episode. That was this is just a glimpse into some of the toy lines. We're going to look at 6 different toy lines. That was the first one because I thought it was the strangest one and the most connected to the Barnyard Commandos. I guess if you had these toys at the time, you could make a hot dog fight a pig.
Yeah. Why not?
past, present, something like that. What happens when the Barnyard Commandos lose the war? They become
Right.
Brigadier General.
The casualties of the Barnyard Commandos.
What the food fighters.
Oh,
You
the food
become
fighters.
Mean Wiener.
God.
The next toy line we'll look at is actually still popular today. They still release some of these.
This is probably one of the more enduring
They are.
popularity of weird toys that were on this list anyway.
Mad Balls.
Mad Balls.
Made
Mad balls. Gross for one, gross for all. We play with a mad ball. They're gross, funny, yucky, sick. There's 8, so you can take your pick. We throw, catch, it's uh-oh fun. There's so much gross in every one. Freaky fun is what they're for. There's so much ugly, so much more. Gross for one, gross for all. We play with a mad ball. We play with a mad ball. We play with a mad ball. Mad ball.
Freaky fun for everyone, sold separately from Amtoy.
made by AIM Toys. Brian actually recently bought some Mad Balls.
I bought some. Well, those are new,
Knockoffs,
very new versions.
variants of
Yeah, I
Mad
have a Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of foam rubber balls featuring grotesque and humorous monster faces.
They ran into a lot of controversy, like Cabbage Patch.
Really? Because of
Garbage Pail Kids.
grotesque.
Yeah.
There was one I remember the eye popped off when you
Yep.
squeezed it. Each ball had its own unique design and character,
All of
such
them
as
disgusting. Yeah.
such as Screamin' Mimi and Hornhead. AIM Toys, a division of American Greetings. That's right, American Greetings.
Yep.
Released Mad Balls in 1985. Did you own any Mad Balls, Brian?
I might have had one or two when I was a kid. Yeah, but not really.
I would think that your Mad Balls would go with your Mean Wiener.
Well, that's if you put two Mad Balls together, just above it is the Mean Wiener.
This is going to be a horrible
You're gonna
episode.
have to edit that.
I'm leaving that in. We actually, friends of mine, when we were about 12 years old, 13 years old when these came out, we actually, one of my friend's little brothers had the football, and we actually attempted to play a football game once with...
Oh, that's right. They had the Mad Ball footballs.
They had
right.
We attempted to play a football game with the football, which kind of looked like a plane.
Yeah.
It didn't work out very well.
Yeah, probably not.
This
They
is-
probably- they weren't very useful as
They were not,
but
we tried.
real balls.
Yeah, we tried. And I think people actually use them as balls too to play with. Brian still plays with his balls today. All right, now let's look at one that's a little bit more. We're getting more serious now. Brian's going to take this one.
These are serious? Okay, sorry. Yes, this is very serious business. Sectars, which were warriors of Symbion. This is actually a pretty cool toy line.
Yeah, it is.
They were
Sectars are.
put out by Coleco, who had had much success earlier with the ColecoVision video game system. Sectars combined action figures with large insect companions, and those insect companions were a hand puppet.
Yeah, it was really
So
interesting.
it was like you'd have like a spider, and you put your figure on top of that spider, and then the spider would run along with.
Yeah,
the,
you do your
the action
hand, and it
figure.
would look like.
And they were all humanoid with giant insect features. They were introduced by Coleco in 1984. Unfortunately, they weren't very successful, but they were really cool figures.
They had
actually.
a cartoon with them too, I believe.
Believe there was one. I have to go back and look. But
I believe there
I
was
think
one,
there
too.
was. I mean, chances are, yes.
If it was 1980s,
Oh, I think actually the cartoon came out about a year after the
Yeah.
toys, and that was one of the problems with selling it.
it was a Marvel comic too at one
Oh,
point.
yeah, were Marvel. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely Marvel Comics.
Sectars is one of those toy lines that don't make sense because it should have been way
should have
more
been really
successful
popular,
than
yeah.
it was. It was a great idea.
They were 6-inch figures like Masters of the Universe.
No,
They weren't?
no, they were small, 3 3/4. Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, because your hand wouldn't.
No, I think they were big.
I don't think so.
Anyway.
We'll show one right here.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Show that I'm right. So
The battle of the sectors begins. Heroic Dargon, leader of the forces of good, is ambushed by evil sectors. With the help of his loyal insectoid Dragonflyer, he fights them off. But they're just bait for the real trap. A far more treacherous enemy is waiting. The evil General Spytrax. Will heroic Dargon be caught in his web? Watch the next episode of Sectors by Coleco.
So Sectors is really one of those lines that it should have been more revered than it is. And it's really not. It's not like they redo Sectors now. You don't get a new line coming out like reminisce about them. They did poorly.
They tried to bring him back. There was a Kickstarter that tried to bring him back. I don't think it did well.
Yeah, it's just one of those ones where I think it was because the toy aisles were flooded with so many different action figures at the time, it's hard to distinguish yourself. They tried really hard to distinguish themselves.
They did.
But it didn't work. Number 4 is another one of those goofy ones. Boglins, made by Mattel.
It sounds like something you might find in your nose.
Over here, I'm a Boglin. Me and my buddies need a place to hide out. Come a little closer. Oh, did I scare you? Oh, I do that so well. If you take us home, we'll kiss your Aunt Martha. We'll eat your peas. And we hope you know lots of girls. Hey, the name's Boglins, each sold separately, and we're looking for good homes. Maybe yours?
Boglins. My nose is filled with boglins. I thought I was scratching it before. Boglins were hand puppets designed to look like mischievous and grotesque creatures. Notice a trend here, a lot of grotesque things. The toys featured movable eyes and articulated jaws, allowing children to control their expressions and movements. Mattel produced Boglins in 1987. They came in a cage too. So
I was going to say they came. The package was a cage. Right?
These are actually becoming popular again now. And
are they?
Yeah, Boglins are selling really well in the secondary market right now. People are actually, going back and buying them from their childhood. You would stick your hand in them and you can make them like move, kind of. Yeah, they looked weird. We'll do a commercial right now.
I'm a Boglin. Me and my buddies want to be your friend, right, guys? Right. Call us at 1-900-909-5464 and hear how we can protect you from ferocious beasts.
And help you teach your grade your math test.
Yeah, new story every day.
1 call gets you a 3D Boglin hologram like this.
4 calls get you a set of 6. Trade them with your buddies.
And part of your $2.35 2-minute call goes to Special Olympics.
So get your parents' permission and call us at 1-900-909-5464. Oh, get the phone. I said get it, not eat it.
Now here's where we get into uncanny valley territory.
Okay.
This toy always made, my cousins had this and it made me so uncomfortable.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine's younger brother had one.
Teddy Ruxpin was created by Worlds of Wonder. It was an animatronic storytelling bear that captured the hearts of many children in the 1980s and the screeching horror of some older people.
Yeah, it was an ingenious.
It was a very
creation.
cool toy.
And it was
very
too.
ingenious.
It was very
innovative.
expensive.
Yes, the bear had cassette tapes and a cassette tape player in its back that also helped to move its mouth and eyes, and it would read stories
Or sing heavy metal.
Does it sing heavy metal?
Oh yeah, if you put a tape in
it, would do that?
Oh,
that's cool.
Its mouth could move to the
Okay,
music.
now I'm suddenly
of
more
course,
enjoying.
That's what we did.
I'm enjoying it more.
You mean you didn't do that with your cousin?
No.
You put any cassette we could find in there.
No, I avoided this thing.
There you go.
It was released in 1985 by Worlds of Wonder. Yeah, this was definitely like a Megan kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Chucky,
The first Chucky doll?
Yeah, this is her.
I failed again.
How about these, master?
Hi there. My name is Teddy Ruxpin. How are you today?
Fine.
Well then, I would like to tell
Teddy
you
Ruxpin,
a story.
the world's first animated storytelling bear. Now available at stores everywhere.
It was your first. It was like your cell phone now. It kept, told you what to do.
I was totally listening
Kill
to you at
your
night.
parents.
Exactly.
It was definitely something that came to life at night and
Totally convinced.
whispered in your ear.
Yeah, totally convinced that you would wake up and it would be standing next to your bed.
Horrific. It did not have an animated series. I believe
Oh, really? There was no tie-in media?
I believe it did like a movie. They did like a Christmas movie or something. If I remember
Oh,
correctly.
wow, that's crazy.
I never had.
Here comes Teddy Ruxpin
Let's get out of here, Grubby.
to look for adventure and the secret of a lost treasure.
Hello, I'm Teddy Ruxpin.
The Adventures of Teddy Ruxpin, weekdays at 12:30 on ATV.
I never had Teddy Ruxpin. We were much too old for something so childish at that time.
And we are not childish.
And we are not childish even to this day. See earlier in this video where we talk about
Yeah, rewind about 5 minutes.
Mean Wiener.
Can't stop laughing.
And Brian's Mad Balls. So again, this episode is just about a couple we're going to introduce. We may do more of these as we go forward. And the last one we're going to look at is also the name of Brian's private parts, My Pet Monster.
You're really going to have to cut that out.
I am not.
We're trying to keep this is a family show.
This is not. Also made by American Greetings, the card company. My Pet Monster was a plush toy that combined elements of a monster and a superhero.
Yeah, I kind of like this one.
This one is.
I never had it. But I
never had it either. It would be really cool to display.
Yeah, it was cool looking.
It was a cool toy for kids to have. It had plastic handcuffs that could be removed, transforming the monster into a friendly-looking creature.
Right.
My pet monster.
He's bigger than big.
When he fights battles, he always wins.
And he's your friend, too.
He breaks his chains.
Put him on you and break away, too.
With my pet monster, you're busting loose.
He's big.
And scary.
And helps people, too.
And he's your friend, too.
My pet monster plays all day.
Tough.
Awesome.
Looking great.
And all your friends will want him for their friends, too.
My pet monster has breakaway chains from Amtoy and American Greetings Company.
Right.
American Greetings introduced My Pet Monster in 1986. It was fun. I could definitely see a 5 or 6-year-old having this and carrying it around with him. It is much better than My Buddy.
My Buddy is the basis of...
My Buddy's based of Chucky.
Yeah.
My Buddy was a doll that was... It's scary looking.
It is.
Where My Pet Monster was supposed to be scary looking, but it was really like...
No, it was really cool.
It's cute. It's really cute
yeah.
looking. And you could definitely see a 5 or 6-year-old running around. I actually think...
It had
my
like
sister had one.
It had like a Where the Wild Things Are kind of to
that's
it.
That's a great comparison.
Yeah.
It looked like them, and it did very well. And we often see them at conventions now.
Yes.
In on a shelf somewhere.
Right.
Never has the handcuffs though, and they sell for pretty good money. So if nothing else, these 1980s toys still command some money on the secondary market at toy show stuff. We're nostalgic. That's what we do. We peddle nostalgia, and this is us peddling tomfoolery and nostalgia in this episode.
Indeed.
So the toy lines of the 1980s really stand out in both their unusual concepts, their design, and their play features. A lot of playability here. It captured the imagination of children everywhere in the 1980s with this distinctive and peculiar appeal, specifically the food fighters.
Kind of hoping that we have that same distinctive and peculiar
We have that appeal. That's our appeal. Thanks for watching. Love what you collect.
Collect what you love.
Hopefully we'll do more of these.
Bye.